It looks as if council tax bills across Scotland will be frozen for the fourth year in a row. We'll know for sure tomorrow. But the signs are that all 32 local authorities will accept a government deal to keep bills as they are. But that's not to say they're all happy about it. Our local government correspondent, Jamie McIver, is here with more. Jamie.
Well, Jackie, the Scottish Government will be relieved. It now looks like the council tax freeze will hold across Scotland for another year. But even the government's biggest supporters would agree it's a tough deal. The government's offer came down to this: freeze the council tax and we'll give you a little less money, put up the council tax and we'll give you a lot less. In Glasgow, the big freeze has lost its novelty. The council tax here hasn't gone up for 5 years, but the Labour Council here thinks it's now time for a thaw, and they say they're angry with the government.
Nobody wants to raise tax, but the cuts are worse. And a 3% increase in council tax in Glasgow costs the typical householder in Glasgow an additional 54 pence per week. I think that is a price well worth paying, but we've been prevented from doing that by a gun held to our head.
So why has Glasgow accepted a deal they hate? Well, as about 80 pence of every pound they spend comes from the government, the consequences of saying no could have been a massive rise in the council tax.
Obviously we'll set a balanced budget today.
The Finance Secretary was proud to announce another offer to freeze the council tax last month.
If authorities accept the agreement, their resource funding will reduce next year by only 2.6%. That is a much greater degree of protection than in other parts of the budget, and a much superior position to that for local government in England.
But is another council tax freeze a vote winner?
I pay enough council tax for the amenities I've got round about me. I think they should freeze it.
It's a small increase, not huge hikes, but a moderate increase would be fine.
Glasgow's budget is being cut by 3.6% against a Scottish average of 2.6%. The SNP government say that's because of a long-standing formula for distributing money to councils. Some other councils believe the deal John Swinney is offering is the best possible at a very difficult time. But remember the context to all this. We're 6 months away from an election. The council tax freeze remains one of the SNP's flagship policies. But Labour councillors, the length and breadth of the country, argue the way it's being done works against their areas. Jackie.
Thank you very much, Jamie.